What's up guys, it's Nick here at Gemini Exotics. We're back at it with another episode. Today, to start off December, I thought we would take a look at some of the isopods that I have. I think I have around 8 species now, a few different variations of a few of them. But let's get into it and see how they're doing. So here we have one of the true roly-poly species. This is the Armadillidium Granulatumn, aka the zebra isopod. I had a lot of these guys at one point, but unfortunately the culture crashed, so I did have to buy more. But look at them. And this is actually, if you're new to the channel and are not familiar with isopods, this is actually where they get their name from, their namesake. Typically when they're stressed out, they will roll into a ball. This guy does not seem to be doing so. The Granulatumn are pretty good at it. These guys don't get huge, they stay relatively small compared to a few of the other species that I have, but I think it's a pretty decent size. These guys are great for more arid setups, less humid setups. They don't like all too much humidity, they like it relatively dry. A lot of the Armadillidium species like that, like the Armadillidium Granulatumn, which is up next. So here we have the Armadillidium Granulatumn. There's actually a few in this corner over here. These guys are pretty cool. They're another true roly-poly species. And these guys are a little bit better at it than my Granulatumn. Let's take this guy. Just like that. One of the more common roly-poly species is the Armadillidium vulgare, or vulgare, however you want to pronounce it. They're typically found all over the US, including New York, where I'm at. But these guys have some really cool color variants. Let's see if I can't show you. They got really light speckling on the tops of them. It looks like he's getting back up. See, and they just unball. And then boom, he's golden. They do that as a defense mechanism to pretend to be dead, basically. So up next we have the tomentosa, the Trichorona tomentosa. Pretty common one, aka dwarf whites. Now I am going to end up taking out this cucumber that we have in here, but these are the Trichorona tomentosa, aka the dwarf whites. They are a subterranean species that absolutely love humidity. However, I do have them in Hades enclosure, and oftentimes it gets relatively dry considering his basking spot's like 140 degrees. So these guys do really well in all sorts of different environments in my opinion, but they do love the humidity. Let's see what we got under this guy. Oh yeah. And as the name states, these guys are tiny, 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 tiny. Alright, up next we got some of my favorites. We're going to move into the Porcellio family. And then get into some of the powdered. We're going to start off with one of my favorites. This is the Porcellio levi's dairy cow. They just have so many different color variants that I absolutely love in this one color mutation. Look at that. We have all sorts of Mankey or babies, and these guys are available for sale. Just send me a private message here or on Facebook, and I'll hook you up. These guys are another humid-loving species. They do very, very, very well with humidity. And this was actually a magnolia pod at one point. They decimated it. Lots of nooks and crannies for them to hide in. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. If we can focus on it. Nope, focus right there. This one has a little bit of a yellow in there, yellow tinge to the belly. That's actually how they store the manke, or the babies. And they'll eventually end up hatching. Some species, when the mother has babies, it dies and then the babies actually eat it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we're going to move on to one of the original cultures, the Porcellio dilatatus, or the giant canyons. So I've had these guys forever now. I think going on 3 years having them established. And they're doing well. This is one of the original cultures that I got. I want to say the culture crashed due to it being too cold, but I ended up purchasing more and it ended up hitting off again. But these guys like it relatively dry compared to what you see here. Very well vented enclosure. Lots of stuff to hide in and under, and I will be adding more leaf litter to all these cultures here shortly. But I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update, see what's going on. And like I said previously, all these guys are for sale. Just give me a message either on here or on Facebook. And these are one of the largest species that I have. I think they're relative in size compared to the ones we just saw, the Levi's dairy cow. But I have some of these in Hades enclosure as well, along with the dwarf whites, along with the Scaber oranges, which we will actually take a look at right now. So these guys are pretty cool. They have a very high protein drive, so I would not recommend putting them in with any small sort of slow amphibian or either small terrestrial lizard rather. They do well with my crested geckos. They love to eat up their poop as well as some of the extra crested gecko diet goes uneaten. These guys are small, they're fast, they love humidity, and they absolutely love to eat protein. These guys are actually eating shed skin along with a little bit of fruit and veggie scraps along with freeze-dried minnows. But let's take a look at another Scaber morph. Same species, different morph. Porcellio Scaber Dalmation. These guys are in a smaller container because there's not too many of them to start off with. But there is a good amount of them. Oh, look at that. I absolutely love the Dalmatians. I love the variants and all the colors and the patternings. It's pretty cool. Different than what people are used to when you hear of an isopod or a roly-poly, if you're not too used to that or familiar with what goes on in them. Small container. These guys will be getting an upgrade soon. They're going to be going in the same size tub that I just showed you in the previous few isopod bins. Again, these guys will love protein and love humidity. And then last but not least, we have Porcellionoides pruinosus orange, powder orange. I could be wrong with that pronunciation, but these guys are pretty cool too. They are extremely fast. They do well in humidity, and they're small. I've actually got some of these guys in with my geckos as well. Really good cleanup crew. These guys will not be available. I don't have too many producing at the moment, but it should be ready by later next year. These guys are the orange, the powder orange. We're gonna take a look at the powder blues. Almost gray in color. These guys are very shy, unfortunately. Got one running about, but these guys are very prolific breeders. Once we get them established, they'll be good to go. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked this video, if you want to see more, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.